Hey, what's good YouTube? It's Jay here. You guys haven't seen me in a minute. I was out of town for the holidays, had to go see my in-laws in a different state, but I'm back now, and today we're going to be talking about one of the biggest things happening with Empire War, and that's the update that it just got from Petroglyph. We'll go over the patch notes in full, but Petroglyph recently released an update that addressed a number of issues. For one, the biggest change being that Empire War is now a 64-bit game, meaning it has more access to memory. A lot of crashes and stability issues with Empire War were mostly related to the fact that there were memory leak issues with a lot of different mods, from all the higher textures to all the changes in gameplay, the animations. I'm not technical when it comes to mods, but with the higher quality of the mod, the more issues it more than likely ran into. At least that's what I understand from a lot of the teams that I work with and talk to. Multiplayer is also achievable now for a variety of different mods out there, and we'll test that over the coming months, but this is a huge step in an amazing direction for Empire War, so let's go over everything in these patch notes in full. Okay, so I mean, maybe I'll throw like some kind of gameplay on in the lower left-hand corner or something, you know, do something like they do on TikTok, where if this gets a little too boring, then, well, you guys have something to kind of watch in the process. But this is a long one. This is a very long set of patch notes. Now, this also includes bug fixes for certain commands not working, improvements to certain unit abilities like point defense lasers, certain commands like stop commands not working, a whole bunch of stuff. So let's just kind of briefly go over everything. So for Forces of Corruption, and they've got to separate it from Forces of Corruption and Empire War / Forces of Corruption for the people that still play vanilla Empire War. The stop command functionality was partially lost in port from Empire War to Forces of Corruption. Now, Corey Loses did a video a while ago on cut content from Empire War, and I don't plan on making a video on that and mimicking off of everything that he's already achieved with that. So I highly recommend you go check out Corey Loses video on that if you haven't already. It covers a lot of different content that didn't make it over into Forces of Corruption, and again, 17 years ago, there was a lot of content that didn't make it over. But go check out Corey's video. I'll leave a link for it in the description below. So the stop command functionality was partially lost in the port from Empire War to Forces of Corruption. Units of Forces of Corruption would immediately start to move and attack units in their idle attack range, which is true. It's very annoying when in most mods when you stop a unit and it just starts going forward anyway. I always thought that was a mod issue. I never really realized that was an actual issue with the base game, but that's actually really cool. For Forces of Corruption and Empire War, which is pretty much everything moving forward, when destroyed, ship names are repeatedly used again. Game now randomly selects from the entire list of ship names instead of beginning at the start of the list. Okay, so when a ship is lost, it gets its own name once again. That's actually really cool. Targeting range upgrade for Crusader gunships has been improved, also for interceptors and Cadalbes. They fixed an issue on some PCs where beam type weapons or abilities would cause the game to crash, such as Force Lightning, Super Laser Beams, Hack Turret. Fixed an issue where Yoda and other Force users could freeze using their abilities. I've seen a lot of that in mods. Now, it's crazy how a lot of these abilities are strictly related to the fact that it's all because of base Forces of Corruption. They also fixed an issue in skirmish mode where allied players in the same team would have their projectiles counted as hostile and would be shot down. So I did look at a couple of different videos going over a majority of the notes and stuff, and I heard that there was a big issue with point defense abilities shooting down their own ordnance if they're on the same team. It's kind of weird. They fixed units with targetable hardpoints being healed inconsistently. That's a great fix. Fixed difficulty settings were not retained correctly while user-generated Galactic Conquest maps. That's actually really cool. So does that mean that Galactic Conquests will scale a little bit differently now? Like, if you generally put them on the highest difficulty, will they be the highest difficulty? We'll have to wait and see. Fixed bad references and data to optimize loading of assets, which could cause load loop and increase load times. They did a lot to fix the load times for a lot of mods too in recent years. So, you know, hey, more speed, the better. Fixed hero health bar not displaying correct amount of health above the selected unit. I'm sorry for speaking broken English. They fixed an issue where all hardpoint units, including space station hardpoints, would rebuild and self-destruct when hyperspacing heroes into the map while being subject to health increasing effects. That's maybe I just never noticed that. In all the years I've played, I don't think I've ever paid attention to that, but that's interesting. Freysia and Biss land maps contain areas which the AI would underperform and get stuck on the map's islands. Both maps have been updated. Now remember, this is all base Forces of Corruption and Empire War, so if you ever want to go back and play that stuff, there's a lot of changes. But again, this all relates to base Empire War. There are a lot of changes that were listed above, obviously, too, that mostly affect mods, or that do affect mods in a positive way. The Venator and MC-80 shield meshes did not completely cover their respective ships, which resulted in visible holes. Shield meshes updated to correct the issue. It's just crazy they're adjusting all this stuff 17 years later. Fixed a bug where a specific circumstance would cause starting units to not always respawn in space skirmish. A bug was fixed specifically in Forces of Corruption, where starting units lack the flag on their unit icon in space skirmish on initial. Again, this is significantly more technical stuff than we probably really need to worry about, but we'll just keep going over it anyway. So fixed a bug where Mothma or Grand Moff Tarkin was the only unit on the planet. Invading armies would be deleted and invasion would never begin. I remember that happening. Fixed a bug with constructing buildings, preventing planet control from changing after a tactical battle. I've seen that a lot in mods where I invade a world and the enemy had a building still under construction and I could sell it or cancel construction and get money back. I never understood how that happened, but I'm glad to know that's just another issue with base Empire War. It restores skirmish multiplayer lobby functionality to have 5 or more players of the same faction. Now, I did also hear there used to be a big issue where if you tried to do multiplayer, you would have to be like one of the base game factions or something. I'm sure there's going to be more details about that in the notes. That's why I really never tried to play too much multiplayer content on the YouTube channel. Way too many issues with it, way too many problems keeping lobby stability in check, getting everybody even in the lobby to begin with. It just wasn't worth it. I know a lot of people wanted me to do multiplayer content, and I'm sorry I haven't, but it was just more frustrating than it was enjoyable. And me personally, if something becomes too frustrating and I just can't make a work around it, I'm just not going to do it. I'd rather focus on something else. So I do apologize about that, but that means we could probably do more multiplayer stuff on the channel now. Faction requirement has been removed. Players could choose. Okay, so here it is. The faction requirement has been removed, so players can choose any combination of factions to play with and don't require Rebel or Empire faction slots to start a multiplayer match. So you can play as literally whoever now. For user-generated content, global object IDs are now accessible by the LUA or Lua, or however you pronounce that. So for the modders, that sounds phenomenal. Fixed a bug where enabling hardware mouse will cause a cursor to flicker. Really? Okay, we're gonna have to try that out. Fixed an issue on Galactic Conquest Felucia Space where turrets were set to the incorrect faction. That doesn't really matter in my case because I don't really play the base game anymore. The following space maps support 2 structural slots, but only 1 marker was available for use, which prevented just the second structure from appearing. So these planets right here. The following space maps support 2 special structures, but 3 were identified in data, adjusting data to support the correct number. They just kind of like, this seems like a nerf to some of the planets in the base game, which is kind of funny. Or buff. No, nerf. I think. I don't know. They fixed incorrect visuals attached when players deployed the Gargantuan onto the planet's surface. Fixed an issue whereby skirmish landmaps for Hall of Mandalore and Bothawui had incorrectly assigned pads. Galactic Camino space map updated to remove unintended Zog consortium units. Fixed the Crusader gunship where it had the wrong damage multipliers. Dathomir skirmish land map had missing AI data, which resulted in the AI underperforming on this map. Okay. Yava's space map had an asteroid located too close to the base, causing it to become preoccupied firing on that asteroid. Extended map boundaries to correct the issue. Cool. Fixed mismatched damage multipliers for the Acclimator's turbo lasers. Updated map previews due to visuals being inaccurate between the map and the preview. This was done for both land and space multiplayer maps, all space maps, and all underworld space missions. Wow, that's a hell of an update for an old game like this. Updating every single map preview, pretty much. Wow. Okay. Rancor now has a restored attack animation for unfortunate infantry that gets too close. Was it always gone? Well, okay. I don't really remember if it was even gone back. Wow. I feel like I'm getting hit with the Mandela effect right now. I swear they always used to eat infantry, didn't they? I don't know. Fix Vader's force crush abilities so that crushing a pod walker does not cause the crushed object to float in midair. Cool. Fix Galactic Conquest Hoth map so the attacker starts at the captured landing zone, as it should. The destroyed version of some pirate frigates use a different scale factor, corrected by adding a new art for leader and captain. That's actually kind of cool. Units with hardpoints that are garrisoned in a vehicle no longer leave their hardpoints behind. Video options now allow higher scale refresh rates, especially in resolutions greater than 16 or 16 by 12. It fixed a rare crash that would occur when grouping selected units, or when group selecting units. Never encountered a crash like that, I don't think. Maybe I have like 4,000 hours on my Steam version of this game alone, so maybe I could be wrong. Fixes locked planets and story campaign missions sometimes still being accessible, and fix the AT-ST barrage stop firing bug for real this time. Smile. Other internal game changes. Forces of Corruption Lewis scripts are now available in their uncompiled form and included in the 64 patch.meg. Added new event params to the load campaign. So this is a bunch of stuff within the code that I'm personally not really familiar with, but I'm sure it's going to be amazing for all the different modders out there, and it'll probably benefit them in some kind of way. So overall, like, wow, I can't believe we're still getting updates. I wonder what the comments are about this under here. Okay, so some of the latest comments are for 2017, 4 hours ago. Let's see, I'm trying to see if we find any new comments on this. I mean, does Petroglyph manage Battlefront 2? I don't think they manage Battlefront 2, but it's crazy that they're able to just still do this stuff. Like, wow, they're still patching this ancient game. Okay, we're gonna boot up a game of Empire War Remake and just kind of play around with it and see if there's any kind of difference in performance or how it just feels overall. I'll be right back. We're over here on Empire War Remake. I really can't guarantee that this is actually going to make a huge difference in performance, because the notes are not a guarantee that performance will overall be changed, but we can hope. More memory, more power. That's at least the idea that I have in the back of my head anyway. So we're going to boot up free mode really quick and just kind of try a couple of things out and try and see what we can do, I guess. So the goal with this is going to be playing around with some of the classic, like, Old Republic units, because, you know, that's just my literal favorite thing to do, is just play around with Old Republic units. I've got a rather unhealthy addiction to the classics. We're just going to build a bunch of different things and just kind of throw a big, huge, like, space battle together, I guess. We'll do some Mandalorians versus some Republic forces, and just try to see how much we can really do on the battlefield all at once. I don't have any high expectations, but I feel like this is a good chance to test out something fun, you know? So let's see, we got a lot of ships here actually. Like right out the gate, we got a lot of stuff to play around with. I don't know how far we can push this limit, but again, that's kind of the goal overall, is to see how far we can push everything. So we want to assign these all to group Team 1 units to you. Okay, so we're gonna want to do this. Assign Team 2, wait a minute, hold on. Okay, this is all gonna be Team 2. I did pick Team 3 also, but I kind of forgot how you're supposed to do this, so we're just gonna kind of ignore Team 3 for now. I thought I was gonna do like some kind of crazy three-way battle, but on second thoughts, we'll just kind of avoid that for the time being. So let's just drop in all of our Candosis. Our beautiful, beautiful warships. And hopefully we'll get like an inexpugnable. That'd be kind of cool, like just for fun to play around with. Because Remake does have an old inexpugnable class. Now, do we still have that model? Couldn't literally tell you at all, to be frank. Okay, but I mean, so far so good. We're looking pretty good. I usually rarely have performance issues with Empire War, so take my like little gameplay here with a grain of salt. I rarely ever have too many issues with it. But again, like we also need to test out a multiplayer stream too, so maybe I'll hit up Corey or Jerome or a few other of the creators I know out there and see if they're interested in any way of, you know, doing a little multiplayer game. Okay, so let's assign these guys all to Team 2. I think we're doing this right.
Assigned to Team 2.
Or wait, so how do I do this to Team 1? Oh, never mind. Okay, so new units called in will be Team 1, I believe. So we should be okay. I really don't remember how this whole new system kind of works. I'm gonna need a bunch of these little hammerheads. Okay, but I have little expectation for the performance to actually be any better. Like it could be, but with all the particle effects and stuff that are gonna be going off, you never know. And again, it still is Empire War at the end of the day. Oh, let's also check out the resolution changes too. I heard that there are new options, or at least that's the idea. Yeah, we have 144 hertz now. Maybe I'll just crash the game. Okay, I can see it in OBS. There we go. Okay, well, we have 144 hertz options now. Yeah, we'll turn off hardware mouse. Wow, it actually feels completely normal. Oh my God, it feels amazing. You can turn off hardware mouse now. Hardware mouse apparently would help with performance for some people, but it was never a one-to-one guarantee. So it is kind of crazy that it actually feels really, really nice. Oh God, dude, this Mandalorian fleet's gonna eat us alive, actually. But I hope that this does in fact work, as we anticipated to anyway. And then I think we got more than enough Republic forces here, if we're being honest. We do need some more starfighters though. So let's get all these guys in. Yeah, if I don't ever have to turn this on again, that'd be great. Okay, we are seeing a little bit of a frame rate drop right now. Yeah, we're at around 30 FPS and the battle hasn't even begun yet. Okay, so it might get a little worse with the more starfighters that we call in, but we'll see how it works out. Also, I just stuttered because my headset decided to pop like really, really loudly. So let's turn all these guys around. Still, this is still better performance than I'm used to. Oh, that's a lie. I did say I don't have too many performance issues, but even this is still really, really good for what we're dealing with right now. Okay, so I guess we can go ahead and assign all these guys to Team 1. So these are all the units that we've got freely available. I guess we could call on a third faction if we get bored, but for the time being, and then we'll assign Team 1 to me.
Team 1 units assigned to player.
Okay, cool. Shout out to the voiceovers for making it nice and simple too. How many starfighters do we have? Not a whole lot. These guys are going to get absolutely ravaged by by the Mandalorians. Okay, well, I mean, this is not really a guarantee that everything's going to work, but let's give it a shot. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Battle started.
Wow. Wow. Wait, holy smokes, I'm actually genuinely mind blown right now. Also, it does feel like hardware and mouse off still feels a little loose. I'm actually amazed we're getting this stable of a frame rate. And this thing with 144 hertz. Okay, well now that the missiles are impacting and blowing our shit up, I mean, it's a little bit of a different story. But if I tried this before, I would still have an obnoxious amount of lag and other issues. Like, this is genuinely, for the fleet size that we've got going right here, this is amazing, actually. Like, this is genuinely amazing. It literally doesn't get any better than this. Like, it definitely could still be better in some areas, but before it would just be a slideshow. Like, we still got some stuttering here and there, but compared to how it normally is with Empire at War, this is actually really freaking cool. I didn't know what to expect. And again, it's still laggy, it's still gonna have its issues here and there, but I'm gonna assume a lot of things are gonna need to be re-optimized maybe for some mods now too. Remake included, I don't know about other mods and stuff. I could be wrong, I'm not a dev. There's still some lag, very clearly there's still some lag, but we made it farther in this battle than we used to in the past with everything else. Like, we won't encounter too many fleets like this in the mod of this size and caliber, but damn, this is sick. Okay, well, we'll just have to kind of let them duke it out a little bit and decrease the number. So what's our frame rate looking like right now? All right, we're sitting at a crisp 10. Maybe we just turn away from the battle. Yeah, that frame rate's hitting. It's starting to hit now. The particle effects and stuff are kind of going off. But before, even when the particle effects weren't going off, we would still have issues even achieving a barely stable frame rate when you have just this many ships. So I wonder if just toning down some of the particle effects and stuff will help. So now what I want to do is try turning on this again. Didn't really make a huge difference, if we're being honest. I'm gonna turn it off again and just kind of play around with it. Like, this video is solely for the sake of testing. And here's all the settings and stuff I use. Let's turn heat distortion back on.
Yes, Commander. A whacked one.
Okay.
I'm jamming the target.
Still, this is significantly more stable than literally anything I've ever seen before with a fleet size of this magnitude, so we're doing something right here. Cool. So we'll just let them duke it out. I gotta say, I'm actually mind blown at how well this is playing out.
Take that.
So like if it takes a battle of this size, like if a battle of this size can still have frame rates this, you know, tolerable, just imagine what smaller scale battles that'll still be large in the grand scheme of things will feel like. Like look at this. This is amazing that we're getting this kind of a frame rate with this game now. Look at this shit. Excuse my language, by the way. I did tell myself I was gonna make an oath to stop swearing so much in my videos. I know everybody's not a fan of that kind of stuff. You know, too much swearing. I don't know what the rest of the Mandalorian fleet is doing, but we'll let them keep doing it. Okay. Let's deal with some of those bad. Look at this. Look how smooth this is. I don't really trust this frame rate value. This definitely feels higher than 23. But we'll take it for what it is. This is unreal.
That'll put him in the dark.
Wow. Even if the battle doesn't go our way, obviously we still got what we wanted, which is seeing absolutely majestic battles play out and look good and play right. Wow. Yeah, I'm mind blown, man. I'm mind blown at how stable and clear this is, at how nice and smooth it is overall. I'm impressed. Patrick Liv, you guys are doing an amazing job over there. Now I really can't wait to try out multiplayer matches, so I'm definitely gonna hit up some of my mod buddies, and obviously we'll figure out kind of how we're gonna approach that for the community moving forward. But this is just unreal. This is 2023 Empire War, major update, stabilizes the absolute heck out of the game, and makes multiplayer viable again, when it wasn't for almost 17 years. It was inconsistent for 17 years, let's put it like that, you know? So this is amazing. I'm also shocked we're doing this much damage to this Mandalorian fleet, to be honest. We still got a majority of our hammerheads, and one just died. The basilisks are running numbers through us, though. Forays are still alive somehow. Oh, they're duking it out with the basilisk. We'll just let the cinematics play out, man. That's all I have to do. But yeah, I'm amazed, man. This really gives me hope for playing more with the game. One of my biggest frustrations with Empire War, what has led to content lulls here and there, was the consistent issues with crashing. Problems with Empire War, like crashing, games just freezing in the middle of like a playthrough, have turned me off so much from so many different playthroughs and even wanting to make videos on this game, that seeing it like this now, it's just unreal. Like, I'm actually flabbergasted. Even before with a fleet this size, like now that we've reduced some numbers here and there, a fleet of this size would still have given me hell on earth in terms of frame rate issues because of all the explosions and the colors and the textures, but we're doing just fine, honestly. Like there was not one moment where the entire mod just froze completely. Like there was a little bit of lag, sure, but there was never a moment where it was just like it doesn't work anymore, you know? So wow, I'm mind blown. This definitely means a lot of things good are gonna happen for both me, the channel, mods, etc. You know, it really makes me wonder like what true potential Empire War modding will unlock moving forward with all these changes. Also, shout out to the Republic fleet, man. These guys are just dealing some damage right now. And the best part is you can still access the 32-bit version of Empire War under the property settings, under your Forces of Corruption. So you'll be able to kind of compare the two if you want to really gauge how different the performance is overall. Just a note for those nerds out there like me. Well, not like me, because I'm not going to do that, but for the nerds out there that do want to explore that stuff, you know, look at that, 129 FPS. I've never seen that before in my life. Yeah, that's why I don't trust that value. And just look at how, wow, dude, this thing at 144 hertz looks amazing. Like, this is beautiful, man. Oh, dude, this actually makes me so happy. Those guys who have been playing this game for literally ages. It makes me happy to see it doing, or capable of doing this good, you know? I always knew it had it in it, but it's just nice to actually see it, you know what I mean? Yeah, this guy's returning some of those basilisks, maybe. Shoot some of those little buggers down. Or not, they'll just completely outmaneuver the entirety of our fleet, and that's fine. We'll just duke it out with the remaining Jahavis and whatever. Our poor starfighters, though, man, didn't stand a damn chance. Let's aim for that last Kadalbi. Fire those magnetic pulse missiles, or ion pulse missiles, or whatever the heck you want to call it.
Take that.
Yeah, guys, we're in a new era, man. This is Empire War in 2023 after a colossal update that just makes the game better overall. So, I don't want to make any false promises and say, yeah, expect a bunch of content. I got to figure out what this means moving forward and how we're going to use this to our benefit. Because this is amazing. It genuinely is really amazing to see what devs who care about their game can do for the game that also results in a massive benefit for the community, you know? The Empire War modded community has been around for longer than some people have been alive playing it. And the fact that we have the abilities now to make the gaming experience for just overall a million times better, man. Like I said, bravo. Absolute bravo from those guys over at Petroglyph. Like let's check our frame rate now. So if we just like this is not 34 FPS. I can tell you that right now. This is not 34 FPS. This is definitely in the hundreds. I don't trust this value whatsoever. I need like that FPS tester thing that you can install for games so I can kind of get a better understanding of our frame rate here. And we just absolutely ripped these guys apart. I'm actually shocked we won this battle, to be honest. Hammerheads are about as fragile as it gets when it comes to frigates and cruisers. The Hammerhead wasn't really a frigate in its time. It was genuinely a capital ship, which is crazy. Imagine taking this small ass ship against the Kandosi in a real space battle, you know? That's like the Reapers versus literally any faction in Mass Effect. They've got these massive ships. All their ships are dreadnoughts, and then you've got your tiny little frigates and cruisers. But okay, we'll go ahead and knock this fleet out of commission and pretty much solidify our dominance above skies. Yeah, this is amazing, man. I'm flabbergasted at how well this is. Like I said, even with this number of ships, I still would have probably been getting, you know, some worse frame rate issues, but it's just crazy seeing it in full now. So that means we can recreate some really, really cool battles, maybe like another battle of Coruscant or something of that nature. Now that we have the free mode too. So we're gonna, I got some ideas, man. Well, I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like on it. And if you're new here, subscribe to the channel. This is an absolute amazing update for Empire War, and it gives me hope that we're going to have a lot more creative things occur in the modded community now that the game is a lot more stable just overall. And again, it also opens up things to us like multiplayer. I'm going to figure out how I want to approach that for the YouTube channel, but until I figure that out, guys, thanks for watching. And again, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like on it, subscribe to the channel, and as always, this has been Jay the Gamer. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.